So here we are, we find ourselves in special session again, and this time the focus is Senate Bill 1, or another evidence-based education funding formula. So let's refresh our memory about Senate Bill 1. Senate Bill 1 passed this chamber with 60 votes, the bare minimum to pass this chamber, 60 votes. One of two things has to happen for that to become law. Signs it. 2, we override the governor's veto. 60 votes does not override the governor's veto. The governor's indicated he's going to issue an amendatory veto on that bill. If you don't have 71 votes, you can't override the veto. So what has your strategy been in trying to get from 60 to 71? Not selling the merits of the bill, not arguing about the pros and cons of the policy. Instead, the strategy has been to use a legislative procedure to force pressure, to create a crisis, to bring us to the brink of schools not receiving their funds. Because maybe in that situation, there'll be 11 more people who are desperate enough to get schools to open, to vote for a bill that they opposed on its merits the first time through this chamber. You haven't offered changes to the bill. You haven't offered to continue to work together on that bill. You've said, we had 60 votes the first time, it barely got out of this chamber, and the only way you think you can get to 71 is by bringing us to the very brink, not by working together in a good faith, in a bipartisan way. Let's let the process of this building happen. It's established by our Constitution. An amendatory veto is a power that's granted to the governor by the Constitution, and it's one that we should respond in kind with. We have the chance then to vote up or down on that amendatory veto. Let's let that process take action. Let's let that process play out. Let's not use crisis over policy to drive what happens in the state. Let's not use legislative tactics to hold up a bill until the last minute. And let's not, as colleagues, force each other into a position where maybe enough people are so desperate that schools will open that they'll change their vote on something they oppose the first time through because you've offered it as the only option, as a take it or leave it approach. That's not going to work here. Let's not work together like that. Let's find a different way. Thank you.